My spiteful sister-in-law stole our baby name and demanded we change our baby's name because we were copycats. Now she regrets it. When my wife got pregnant with a boy, we decided to name him after my Scottish grandfather. We were so excited we announced this on social media, but little did we know that would lead to the most annoying drama ever. My sister-in-law had been pregnant longer and was also having a boy. When she learned our baby's name, she decided to claim our baby's first and middle name. We called her pissed over what she was doing, and she smugly told us there's nothing we can do about it, which was true. She said that since she was using it first, we wouldn't be able to use it. I laughed and told her that while what she did was dirty and underhanded, we would keep our chosen name, and she could just deal with it, whether she decides to go through with copying us or not. Well, her baby daddy called me later and said I was an unreasonable whiner for still wanting to use the name after my sister-in-law claimed it. I said she claimed nothing. Since we couldn't own the name, then neither could they. He threatened me, saying I'd be sorry if we didn't change the name, and then cowardly hung up before I could respond. Months later, my sister-in-law gave birth, and we didn't show up for it. Like the attention-seeking person that she is, she called us wanting congratulations, and told us she had gone through with naming him after my grandfather. We told her we didn't care, and she'd be in for some big disappointment because we had no intention of changing our baby's name. After I said that, she demanded I put my wife on the phone as if she could gain sympathy points from her. But my wife was firm that we weren't changing the name. Sister-in-law hung up on us, but soon started sending emails with text walls of names. I responded back that the name was for my grandfather, and that's why we were not changing it. She shut up, and we didn't hear from her again till after our own son was born, and we named him just as we'd intended. My sister-in-law naturally called to scream in our ears that we copied her son's name. I rightfully pointed out she was the real copycat since she had no familial ties to the name, and we did. Then my wife spoke and said she no longer considered sister-in-law her sister after this, and would have nothing to do with her nephew either. She didn't take that lightly and had her baby daddy show up at our door to make me sorry. I had to contain my laugh when I saw he was very skinny and about 5'6", with a baby face. Meanwhile, I'm 6'1" and well built from 3 trips to the gym a week. I pretty much towered over him, but fighting him would make me feel like a bully. So I told him the house has cameras and to get off my property and never come back. He just yelled a few obscenities at me and drove off in his beat-up car. Later, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law called to yell at me for making him feel emasculated. I said if he shouldn't have come knocking in the first place. Then they tried to bring up the baby name again and demanded we change our son's name as he's so young, so there's still plenty of time to do it. We held our ground and told them that they were bonkers to still think they were in the right. I pointed out that she didn't even name her son out of love, but out of spite, just to try and stick it to my wife for no good reason. They went quiet after that because they knew I was right. Then my wife called them both out on how entitled they've always been and how she was glad to leave them far behind, and she wants nothing from them, and they won't have anything from us. That left sister-in-law sobbing, and mother-in-law called me a royal bastard before hanging up. A month later, my sister-in-law called to bitterly tell us we'd won. She had gotten into a huge fight with her baby daddy because she was sore that sister-in-law didn't let him give their son a middle name from his family. He was also sick of the BS and wanted his son named after him and not some guy he wasn't even related to. Sister-in-law finally caved, and they got the boy's birth certificate reissued with a completely new name, which cost her $500. She then demanded we at least compensate her for the name change, plus another $100 for the emotional damage, as now she's going to have to get used to calling her son by a different name. We laughed and said this would have never happened if she hadn't stolen our baby name to begin with, and we didn't owe her anything. We hung up, and we've been no contact with her since then.